Okay, hello everyone. There is just a whole bunch of things that I need to like catch you all up on. Like it's just like to a point where I'm just like I really need to talk about these things. I really need to like get them off my chest. I'm gonna start a series called Buried in Thought, and this is a series dedicated to just like talking about things. It's like my personal podcast on my channel, just talking about things that I think need to be talked about, having necessary conversation with myself, with others, like just like something I could look back on, something that probably will be for other people to enjoy as well. But I'm really just doing this so that like I could get my thoughts out. It's like a video diary maybe. And for this first episode I have titled it Release. So I just like I have so many things to talk about. Like I have so many things to release, so many things to get off my chest, so many things to say. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I have completely shifted from just making book content. I have been trying to find a way to say this, but I think doing it is the best way to like just getting it off your chest, like just doing it is the best way. Before I made book content, this channel used to be dedicated to like beauty content or singing. Like I used to make singing videos, or I would like do my makeup and things like that. Now it's book content. But now in this era of my life, I have realized I don't have to choose like how I present myself. I don't have to like have a channel dedicated to books or whatever. Like I'm a multifaceted person. I'm someone who's into creating a lot of different things, and I'm somebody who's like very eccentric, if you will. So I just feel like if I present myself in this one dimensional way, it wouldn't fully capture me, and it would make me very like not pleased with myself. It's not that I'm saying that I don't want to create book content anymore. It's just me saying that I've evolved past just making book content. So from now on, this is Alien Burried and Roses. I have changed the name like months ago. I believe last year in 2024, I changed the name. But, you know, this is my first introduction, like reintroduction of like myself. My main Instagram is called The Alien Burried and Roses, but I specifically created The Alien Burried in Stories to push and like, you know, talk about one of my favorite hobbies, which is reading. I've been reading since I was a child. I love reading so much. And now I want to be more than just a reader. I will still have my Instagram dedicated to my bookish content, but like I really want my YouTube to be more than just bookish content. I want it to be a, I guess you could say, a gallery of me, of what I've done in my life, of how I'm feeling about certain things, a place where I could look back and be like, well, this is what I was doing here. Maybe I'm not doing it anymore. Why didn't it work out? Things like that. And just see things I've progressed past, ideas I've gained, lost. Also, how I've evolved as a person, as a creative. I just feel like this would be the perfect place to just like document those things. I don't want it to be just dedicated to one hobby, because that hobby is starting to become sore because I've focused it around content, and I hate that because I've loved reading so much since I was a child, and having one of my favorite hobbies be highly fixated on content creation and, you know, I don't know, I guess appeasing a crowd, it really took the fun out of it. So now I want to recenter back to just like me, not necessarily the hobby, just me, myself, my interests in general, not just like one. So I just want to like reintroduce myself. Hi, I am Najia, also known as the Alien Bird and Roses. I am a designer, an artist. I sing, I create, I do so many things. I'm very multifaceted, and I love to just work with my hands and create. I am an artist in general, in whatever form it takes. I don't really care. I just love to create. However, I will say that art is one of my main sources of creating. Singing is another main source. Designing is another main source, and I would also say even sometimes poetry, songwriting, things like that. I have always used those as like an outlet to focus my creative process, focus my creative energy, focus my creative, like, ness, I guess you could say. I love reading so much. I have been doing reading since I was a child. I love learning. I love knowledge. I love gaining new information, wisdom. And that's how I fell in love with books. One of my first books I would have to say would probably be Angelina Ballerina or Cam Jensen or Junie B. Jones. Like those books were books that I read, like Franklin and Friends, things like that. Those were the books that I grew up on. There's so many books that I have read at a young age that have allowed me to become very, 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 very in love with reading. But reading is not the only hobby I have. I love to game. I have loved gaming so much. I used to have like a Pac-Man joystick. Like you plug it in, the white, red, and gold, of course. And you plug it into the box TV. And you just joystick Pac-Man. I had that. Loved it so much. And I just feel like I have always been like, Mario Kart. You had, recently I've been playing Hello Kitty and Friends, and there's this cat game called, oh my God, Cat and Soups, I think it's called. And it's on iOS, and I've been playing it lately. That's one of my favorites. It's so, like, the serotonin level is amazing. It's one of my favorite things that I've discovered recently. It's such a good little, like, if you want to take a break, like a serene moment away from life, away from everything, just take a moment, take care of your little cats and watch them work, and then, like, get back to what you want to get back to. But, like, for a moment, enjoy the little kitties, like working hard and being so cute, working and doing their little thing, and then you could get back to what you're doing in your busy life or whatever. But they're so cute. It's so fun. It's such a good moment, and it has really helped me like center in moments where like I'm having a hard time. I really love that game so much. There's also Minecraft, of course. I've like always loved Minecraft. There's a bunch of stuff, but yeah, there's gaming, and then I love journaling. Like I have showcased journaling on here a lot in prior, like previous videos. Like I've showcased like my love for journaling. I love journaling. I haven't been able to do it because like of like various situations, but the moment that I get back into it, I'm gonna enjoy it so much. I love journaling so much. I may not be doing like the journaling with the images and the washi tape and stuff anymore, but I have been doing like my journaling, like with diary entries and stuff like that. I have been writing and, reflecting a lot lately. That has really helped me center a lot of things and process emotions that I really need to process. It has helped me regulate my nervous system, my body, and so much more. And I just really enjoy journaling so much. It really helps center you, it really helps you understand yourself. It helps you navigate spaces so much differently. So the journaling I've been doing lately is just like organizing my thoughts, organizing my opinions of myself, the opinions others have of me, organizing my opinions of my inner child, things like that. That's what I've been doing in my journal lately, and I really love that I've gotten back to my old way of journaling, which is like diary entries basically, because I love that without the embellishments, it allows me to see myself naked completely, truly, and sit with myself for a good minute and process everything. And then, after the self-awareness is there, I regain my self-respect, and then I get my self-worth in the end. And I love that. That has really been helpful for me, and that is one of the hobbies that I continue to have. I was going through old journals from my childhood. God, I knew how to talk about how I felt, and I'm glad I've gotten back to that, because my younger self, she knew what was tea. She really knew what was tea. So I'm glad I got back to that. And then another hobby I have is Pinterest. I love to scroll through Pinterest. Who don't love to scroll through Pinterest? If you grew up on Tumblr, Pinterest, Kick, all those stuff like Uvu, like you know about what's really tea. You know what's really tea. I love to scroll through Pinterest and just like get style inspo. I've been doing it forever, since I was like, 13, 14, maybe 12. I love to scroll through Pinterest, get style inspo, get art inspo, get quotes and things like that. I love to discover poetry and quotes. Edgar Allan Poe, There are so many Like so many. I see a lot of Jane Austen quotes on there as well too, Sylvia Plath and so on and so forth. Even Sally Rooney sometimes is on there as well. And I've recently read an Ocean Vuong book, and I've been seeing Ocean Vuong on there as well too. There's so many people that I see quotes from on Pinterest as well. But most of the time I'm looking for the poetry quotes. But yeah, I always like to create like different boards based on aesthetics, based on how I'm feeling. I have one called To Feel the Rain, and that one is just dedicated to poetry and just texts that make me question life, make me like inquisitive, make me, you know, self-reflect basically. I love Pinterest. Pinterest is such a good thing. But then I have like silly things like goth bimbification, which is dedicated to like my Elvira-esque like inner alter ego, you know, like like I feel like the perfect example of goth bimbification is Elvira, and that's one of my favorites. She's a favorite of mine. And so I'm just like, let me make a board dedicated to the queen herself and so on and so forth. So like when I step into my goth bimbification, because my style is very eccentric, I don't like to really choose to stay in the box. So when I want to step out of the box a bit, I have inspo from one of my favorites, Elvira. So, you know. And yeah, like I just have so many hobbies, and I feel like just talking about reading has really grown tiresome for me. It has really grown to be something sore, and I hate that. So I just want to expand upon that. Okay, so let's get into things that are not just a hobby, things that are beyond that. I have been creating art since I could hold a pen in my hand, since I could hold a marker, a crayon, a pencil. I have been creating art. And I have a business. I've talked about it a couple times, maybe putting in some like descriptions, some like, you know, video descriptions, because I wanted people to like, you know, support me. But I have a business, and it's called Planet Skull Eternal. And Planet Skull Eternal is an alternative, very fun space art, you know, I don't even know how to put it into words completely, but I do at the same time. If I articulate it, I feel like it will like not allow people to gather what they want from it. But the essence of it is to find the beauty in the strange, in the dark and the mystical, in the difference, and in the ugliness, if you will, the weirdness. I feel like a lot of the times as an alternative person, as a goth person, as somebody who's previously emo, somebody who follows a lot of alternative people who are like, you know, gyarus and like, you know, gal, and people who are into Lolita and, you know, goth fashion, emo fashion, punk. I follow people like that because that's my people. And I feel like I've noticed like one reoccurring thing for the POCs in those spaces is that we are always seen as the monstrous ones. We are always seen as the ones who are not beautiful enough, the ones who are not like we're not perfect enough to be on the front lines, the headlines, or to highlight the spaces that we're in. And I just feel like that really inspired the direction that I'm taking my art in, because I'm just like, it doesn't matter whether you're in like a subgroup or not. People will always try to like, you know, put a person of color, especially a black person, in the category of too ugly, too monstrous, too weird, not enough. I feel like I want my art to be that safe haven where it's just like, you're not too ugly, you're not too weird, you're not too different, you're not less than. You are perfect just the way you are. I want people to find the beauty in the strange. I want people to find the beauty in the ugliness, the weirdness, and I want it to be focused on people of color. I want to showcase that. And so I took that and I said, oh, I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna couple it with things like witches, sirens, aliens in general, you know, things that are considered ugly, weird, monstrous, and I'm gonna put them together and I'm gonna create this like very strange art located in this universe of my own creation, on this planet of my own creation, and I'm going to showcase the people, the community that I'm a part of in the most beautiful way, in a way that I deem beautiful, you know? Not that what I'm seeing isn't beautiful, but I'm just saying my interpretation of the beauty that's around me, my interpretation of myself, because I am a part of this community as well. So I'm gonna create art that reflects that. And after coming to that conclusion, it led me towards like the garden for all dark butterflies. That was like my quote, and I didn't even really know where I was going to take that. But then I started creating characters like OCs, original characters around that. And this garden became like this safe haven to find what you've lost and gain what you needed. And I created like these very sad characters who were betrayed, lied to, left to their own devices, neglected in so many ways, to help people process their emotions. And then that led me to like, I have been on a journey of regulating my nervous system, my body, and releasing repressed emotions. I think that I will be able to use my art to help people do that. Like, you know, so it's just like, I feel like it started with beauty, strangeness, creating a space for alternatives like myself. And then it progressed towards healing. And I love that. I love that so much. So right now, my business is literally in a space that I am very proud of. And if you would love to get into, you know, some of the art, or you want to start your healing journey, I have like some prints, I have some downloads, I have like literally a zine. I have 3 zines, actually 3 zines. So one is called Leora's Baddie Bible. It's full of affirmations, you know, so you could block the haters out. Focus on yourself, because you're a baddie. You're that person. You know what you're doing. You don't got to worry about what nobody's saying about you. You got this. And then we have the glowing mushroom, which is focused on dealing with the emotions you've like probably not addressed around people lying to you or liars. And then we have Angel in the Well, which is focused on betrayal. And you know, dealing with the emotions around that. Because the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't even know that if you don't release repressed emotions, it can cause like things like memory loss and anger, outburst, and even disassociation and so many other things. So I feel like I really wanted to use my characters. Like Angel in the Well is based around Jolly, which is a ghost boy that got pushed down a well on Halloween. By accident, but his friends betrayed him, and you know, he's been stuck in the well. And in Japanese culture, you know, a well is seen as like, you know, I forgot the quote, but basically you stay in there and you forget that you have the opportunity to come out. You stay in your situation forgetting that you have the opportunity to leave it and heal from it. So I have Jolly as a representation of like, you were betrayed, but what next? You were betrayed, but how are you proceeding from that like moment? Like, how are you going to lead your life? What do you do with those emotions afterwards? You know, like I want Jolly to check, like to clock that tea, to clock people's tea. Like, yes, you were the victim, but what are you doing with that? Like, are you going to allow people to continue to win? Are you going to allow people to continue to be the essence of your, you know, your loathing, your hurt, your pain? Or are you going to regain your strength and do something about it? So yeah, so Jolly's Angel in the Well. And then we have the glowing mushroom, which is Labert. And Labert is someone who was like, you know, so greedy. He wanted candy on Halloween. So much candy. He wanted candy for dinner, and his parents said no. And then he went behind his parents' back and saw an apothecary, went to an apothecary, and got the wrong potion, poured it at his feet in the garden, and turned into a mushroom and now can't turn back. The apothecary owner that he went to lied to him, gave him the wrong potion, and his greed led him to that. But it's just like you have to literally deal with your choices, is what his character is about. But also, you have to acknowledge that what that person did was wrong as well too. So yes, he was greedy, but being lied to, even if it was on accident or on purpose, is not something that you should accept as well too. So the glowing mushroom is not heavily focused on Libert's story like it is for Jolly's and Angel in the Well. However, it does take some key points from it, which is like dealing with liars and how, again, going back into victimhood, like you shouldn't just stay the victim, you should do something about it. So that's the glowing mushroom. And then, as I said, Leor's Baddie Bible, you know, affirmations. Everybody needs affirmations. Everybody needs to remember who they are. Everybody needs to refocus. Not focus on the opinions of others, focus on yourself. Unless you're harming other people, if your intentions are pure, you shouldn't have to worry about other people's opinions of you. You should only worry about the opinions you have of yourself. And that's all you need to worry about. Don't let nobody else clock your tea. You already know who you are. You already know what you possess. You already know your essence. Why are you depending on the other people? So yeah, that's like my business. So if you want to get some information on how to progress as an individual, I got some zines. And if you just want some cool art or a cool new lock screen, or you need a Christmas card or something, check out my business. It's linked in the description. Okay? My goal for this year, 2025, is just to make my YouTube more authentic. I feel like when I was just talking about books, it just like really took away from my authenticity because I was too busy trying so hard to stay fixated on the topic at hand, and it just really just like depleted my energy and my character. And I feel like a lot of the times people could tell that while watching my videos, so they just clicked out. Like I wasn't fully being myself. Like I was trying to articulate a certain way or be perceived a certain way in order to be taken seriously, and it's just like it just didn't feel authentic to me. It just felt so tired. Like, it felt so tired. Like, I was just like, throw it away. Throw it away. Like, I'm tired. It's tired. And, you know, y'all just here for the ride. Y'all here for the journey. If you like it, you like it. You stay. If you don't, like, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. All right. So what's been going on is, you know, after the fire in 2022, I got back into working. I got my first job, if you will, not really, but like my first job. And literally the worst experience of my life ever. It's just like people will take your inexperience and people will take your passiveness, your willingness to learn as a weakness, and then they will abuse it and use it against you. And people will treat you like crap and abuse you. You have the option to do whatever the hell you want and leave. You don't have to take the bullying. You don't have to take the disrespect. You don't have to take none of it. If you think that your priority is yourself and that you need to leave, do it. A lot of people not gonna understand why you're making those decisions, but you know what you was going through, you know what you was experiencing. Is your priority to prioritize yourself. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not even going to go into what the hell was even going down there, because it's just like, I really don't care. And if I spilt the tea about a lot of the things that was happening, all I know is I worked my ass off so much. I was doing so many things and I wasn't getting paid enough. I wasn't even put on the schedule properly. I was being underpaid and overworked. I don't have time for that. So I left. And last year, since summer, I've been like dealing with the worst reactions to my decision. And it's just like, you know what, that's okay, because it's not okay. But what I mean is, I'm at a point after going through those periods, I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't really need to prove myself. nor do I need to explain or be understood. So I'm just like, I'm going to just like let the actions speak for themselves, and it is what it is. So yeah, it's just like the amount of verbal abuse and emotional abuse I have endured as an end result of me choosing myself over being overworked and underpaid has been so very interesting, and to be quite honest, very unfair. And I have I decided to make that decision. I decided to prioritize my mental health and my emotional health and my physical health as well, because I was getting to a point where, because of losing all my stuff in the fire, because of going through almost being homeless and a lot of other things, I was suicidal. Like, first of all, 12, at the age of 12, I was suicidal, and then I've been passively suicidal since then. And then, like, wow, years later, again, I lose everything. First of all, since 2020, I've been going through the worst thing ever. And then finally, like, the icing on the freaking cake was a fire and losing everything in my room, and, you know, just like having to start over. So, like, having to endure all of this, like, abuse at this job, and then, like, I was heavily disassociating as well too, because I haven't fully processed my emotions from 2020, and then, like, now this fire. It's just like I became very, very suicidal, and it's just like I thought we were over that. But the crazy thing is I was ignoring it because I was just like, and it's something that's there. It's not going to stay there. But it wasn't passive anymore. It was becoming very, very, very out of control. And it became more than that. It's just like I was getting so out of touch with myself. I was losing my essence. I was losing my light. And so I was just like, I gotta choose me. I gotta take time to rest. I gotta take time to do everything that I need to do. And so I decided I gotta go. I can't take this no more. I can't allow these people to disrespect me, and I can't keep disrespecting myself. I need to figure out what the hell is going on with me. I need to process my emotions. I need to sit with myself. I need to allow myself to feel everything. I need to allow myself to regulate. I need to allow myself to rest. I need to allow myself to relax. Being in the survival mode that I'm in is not helping. Being in the survival mode that I'm like constantly stuck in is making it worse. And so I crashed down, and I went into this very dark depression for months on months on months. And this was the worst depression I've ever experienced in my life. I'm talking about losing appetite. I'm talking about losing will to live, to experience, to be, to exist. And then on top of that, as I said, with the emotional and verbal and so on and so forth abuse from like my choice, the reactions of the people around me, on top of that really was a load. And I felt shame and guilt for choosing to prioritize myself. I felt shame and guilt for choosing to take care of myself. And the crazy thing is, I've always tried so hard to not be somebody that would burden other people. I've always tried to be somebody who's like, always all right. And that didn't work anymore. That wasn't working anymore. That decision, that choice, that mindset, that lifestyle was eating away at me more than I thought. And this depression that I went through was further proof of that, because the way I crashed down after I stopped like trying to perform, stopped trying to be digestible, stopped trying to be okay. Whew. I'm telling you, it was the worst thing I have ever experienced in my life. After processing everything, after sitting with myself, after allowing myself to feel everything, know everything, telling myself the truth, allowing myself to see things for what they are exactly, I am proud to say that I don't feel the way I felt months ago. I am so happy I don't feel the way I felt months ago, because to be quite honest, I didn't even want to be here. The person that you're listening to right now didn't even want to be here. So to be quite honest, I could say I'm doing better than I was months ago. Like, would I say my situation improved in the physical form, like the material things? No. No. But the mental, the social, the emotional, hell yes. I am proud of that. I'm okay with that. That's something that I would have rather have than to be, you know, being underpaid and overworked and this, that, and the third and all those like things that are material and blah blah blah. Because I'ma gain the whole world and lose my soul. Like that quote, basically. Because like what am I doing all of that for if I'm not right within, if I'm not, stable, if I'm not, you know, okay. I'm doing all of this to make sure that I'm okay, but I'm not really okay. It just don't make sense. Like if 2 + 2 is 4, exactly. So yeah, now like there's like a change in direction. I have been very like I have been very committed to healing. I have been very committed to being selfish, if you will. I have been very committed to creating. I have been very committed to understanding myself, articulating myself more. I have been very committed to authenticity, uniqueness, my full essence, showing up exactly as I am. And it has been a breath of fresh air. It has been something that has freed me. I feel so free. Like right now, I'm on camera and y'all see me with my heavy like makeup and blah blah blah, and I just put on what I want to wear. I just put on these clothes. Like I really like these clothes. I think they're so cute, and I just showed up exactly as I am, and I love it. Like I walk around like this, but for some reason when I'm getting on social media, I think I have to like show up a certain way, or when I'm going to certain places I have to show up a certain way, and that's not entirely true. I'm showing up exactly as I am. Exactly. So I'm authentically myself already, but I feel like at certain times I gotta hide or I gotta overperform. Hell no, I'm not doing that no more. So, that's the change in direction. That's a new era we're in. So here we are. As I said, this episode is about release. I want to talk about all these things because I feel like maybe somebody's like gonna want to release. I ain't no pastor. Let's get started. Like let's not do that. Let's get started on the fact that I'm not no pastor. I'm not no philosopher. I'm not one of those. No, I'm gonna just say it like this. If you in a period of your life where you feel like everything is falling apart, you feel like everything's not making sense, you feel like you feel so disconnected from the environment around you, the people around you, the things you're doing, and even yourself, that's your time to wake up. That's your opportunity to draw a new picture. It's not used like it's an existential crisis. And a lot of time, people take existential crises as a negative thing. But that's your opportunity to redraw your purpose, redraw your destiny, find something that aligns with you. That's what that is. That's your opportunity to refocus your energy on the right things, things that make sense to you, things that align with you, things that are going to take you further where you need to go. That's what that is. So, my thing is, I've been given so many opportunities to release, but I wasn't ready yet. Now I'm ready. So my thing is, when you get that opportunity, even if you're not ready, think about it. So when you're finally ready to, do it. You're not gonna understand it the first time. You're not gonna understand it the second time. You probably won't get it the third. But when you finally get it, get it. Do it. It don't matter what age you at. It don't matter what time period you in. It don't matter what situation you at. Do it. Do it. It don't matter what your situation look like. It don't matter who's doubting you. It don't matter what's going on. Release that. Release that job, release those people, release that mindset, release those opinions, release those thoughts, release that energy, release those emotions, release it all. Free yourself of whatever's holding you back. Free yourself of anything that's getting in your way. Free yourself of yourself. If you're hating on your inner child, if you're hating on yourself, if you're allowing people to hate on you, if you're disrespecting yourself, you're not treating yourself with kindness, whatever you're doing, release it. Release it. You got this. Like, I don't even understand why you... As I said, if your intentions are pure, if you're somebody who's, like, literally not doing anything wrong or hurting anybody, why are you allowing your environment, people, yourself to hold yourself back from where you're truly supposed to be? Why are you allowing certain things around you to get in the way of what you need to be doing? You probably need to be doing healthcare. You probably need to be doing library stuff. Like, you probably need to be teaching at a school. You probably need to be, I don't know, maybe you want to be a pastor. Maybe you want to be a philanthropist. It don't matter what you are heading towards, a writer. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to be nothing at all. Maybe you just want to stay at home and be somebody's wife, husband. Maybe you want to be a mother. I don't know what you want to do, but instead of allowing other people to tell you what you should be doing, only you know what's best for you. Only you know how to use the talent you've been given. Only you know how to navigate your journey, so navigate it. Every single time you've been given the opportunity to wake up and release, that was like literally God, you know, the higher power telling you that you need to refocus. You need to stop allowing people to speak negativity and fear into what you're trying to do. You need to refocus. That's what that was. So now that you have gotten your wake-up call, are you going to choose to do it? Are you going to choose to go that way? Or are you going to continue to go the easy path because people say that's like what's working for you, or people are nice to you right now, or, you know, your life is good, so keep going? Or are you going to choose to, like, you know, go that way and then see what happens? So this episode, I want y'all to release. I released. I'm releasing. So if you haven't released, release it. I'm telling you this right now. The people-pleasing crap do not work. You probably think you're pleasing everybody. You're not pleasing a damn soul. How many times have you done something that's supposed to please somebody and they tell you, oh, you could have did it better. Oh, it wasn't enough. Oh, this person does it better. Oh, it's not like that. And they competing and comparing. And shut the hell up. Everybody shut up. You need to leave that mindset behind. Ain't nobody going to be pleased by you but you. You need to please yourself first before you think about pleasing anybody else. You need to do what you got to do for you. Release that people-pleasing mindset, and I swear you're going to go somewhere. My thing is, a lot of the times we're taught to please others first before we please ourselves, because like the idea of selfishness is very, like, you know, one-dimensional. But selfishness has two sides. There's a balance to it. You have to be selfish. Everything in life is selfish. Me choosing to exist is selfish. We're taking from the earth. We eat from the earth. We exist on the earth. We, you know what I'm saying? Like, we depend on the earth. You're already selfish, darling. It's like, come on, like, selfishness is like the sun. We're stealing from the sun. We steal nutrients and vitamin D from the sun. You're already selfish. Choosing to prioritize yourself is selfish, yes, but you have to do it. It's necessary so that you can continue to go on. How you gonna pour into everybody else's cup if your cup is empty? If it's not even full? So I say release. I say gain new perspective. I say expand your territory. I say prioritize yourself. And I say release. 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 All right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up there because it's just like, that's it. That's all I have to say, because it's just like, as I said, I'm gonna treat this like it's like a video diary, like a podcast where it's just like, and that's it. I just wanted to catch you up on what's going on with me. I just wanted to catch you up on what's happening with my channel, what direction we're taking. And then I just wanted to, like, you know, create a new environment, create a new community, if you will. Because I don't know if everybody's gonna be for this, and that's not really my, like, priority. But by reintroducing and, like, setting a new pace and space, a new community will be built through that. So I'm not deleting my old videos. However, I am starting a new era. So I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And, you know, I'll see you when I see you. Bye.
Unpleasant
Unpleasant